Welcome. I would like to begin by sharing the intention of this experiment. I am going to release a series of short clips which will contain the insights or teachings that have had a profound resonance and impact on my current exploration of the nature of mind. To begin this series, I would like to open up with a saying from the Dzogchen tradition, a saying that has actually come to me via Rob Burbea, who is a teacher who has had deep, profound impact on my practice. And perhaps I may even consider him one of my root teachers on this journey. The saying goes, trust your experience and keep refining your view. Trust your experience and keep refining your view. I can imagine that this has a lot of meaning encoded in it. And over the last months, deeper and deeper layers of meaning have started to emerge from it. So I'll share my current understanding, and I hope it's beneficial and piques your curiosity so you can also play and explore this particular instruction. So at this stage of my understanding, trusting the experience is referring to having a sense of acceptance and allowing for the experience of the moment, not just in our life, but more importantly in the domain of practice container. So if you are in your meditation practice, a lot of the time I found that I was resisting the experience I was having. And I was thinking maybe I should try to fix it, or with a background in engineering, maybe I should try to problem solve it. Or with my background in business, maybe I could find a system, or I could end up doing a trade or buying a solution that might take this problem away. However, I found it's a very powerful practice to allow and to be with the experience. In fact, I might even say that an entire spectrum or an entire dimension of our practice can be about learning to be with the different flavors and different intensities of experience. So some of us may be very comfortable with a particular spectrum of emotions, let's say, maybe the happy ones, or maybe for some people, it might be the more difficult emotions. They're happy to be with them, but they find it harder to be with the other side. In the same way, sometimes one may be comfortable with a range, and all of us as humans are born with and in a way okay with initial range of the entire experiences from the sense fields. And yet we may have that limited range. It may not be expanded yet. It may not be comfortable for us to be with, say, an experience of intense joy. We might be comfortable with an experience of moderate joy, perhaps. And more importantly, this emerges in more difficult emotions like fear, perhaps, or boredom. So, one dimension of trusting experience is opening up completely to the entire spectrum of experience. The spectrum of ecstasy, as one of the books from a different Dzogchen tradition frames it. And the other dimension of this is to open to the range of each of those experiences so that we can sit and appreciate the subtle, the silence, the art, the subtle senses, and the more intense, like the experiences in the heat of a battle, metaphorically, hopefully. So, with that, we can now move into the second phase of this aphorism. Keep refining your view. I think the first thing that emerges for me is the element of continual refinement of view. So there is no finality. There is a continual refinement and there's a continual dynamic opening of the view, which, if one has explored the Dzogchen view, it is quite an open, spacious view. So the idea of continually refining the view links up with that. Continually refining the view also means that from the experiences, when we have insights emerge, we do not take them as the final truth and cling onto them. Instead, we allow the insight to open the view, to refine the view, and then we continue back into the new series of experiences. So there's a beautiful circular feedback loop where we trust our experiences and insights emerge, and from those insights we refine our view, and that opening of the view or shifting of the view or changing the dimensions of the view allows us to have a different series or a different spectrum of experiences, which, because of the nature that it's different or it's more open, allows us to have a different quality, or ideally deeper or different dimension of insight, which then further refines the view. So it's a beautiful, beautiful lifelong exploration, a beautiful wheel, the wheel of Dharma, like they say. The important element of this is that if we do not trust the experience, we can never really land. We are always in doubt. So we cannot land, which is almost a prerequisite to relaxing and then receiving the insight that may emerge. So we can't grasp and hold on with a doubt. If we do that, then we get stuck in our ego pattern, and it prevents a particular spectrum of insights which are currently not in our visible ego pattern, let's say, or in our current view, would be a better way to phrase it. Now, I would like to quickly connect this back to a book that I'm exploring from the Bon Dzogchen tradition. And what I found very interesting was a statement that ended up really connecting with this particular aphorism, and I would like to share that with you. And the author here is saying that confidence in oneself at the time of practice is the epistemological key to the non-opposition between the dichotomy of the certainty and the open indefiniteness. So, what does this mean? This means, at least in my current understanding, that in order to receive and make sense of things, the epistemology of things, which is a philosophical concept, which is how do we make sense of and trust things in a particular way. We can probably go into that later. Epistemology of things requires a level of certainty. And at the same time, the ontology of things, which is the view, requires a level of indefiniteness because it's unbounded, because it's an all-encompassing of the possibilities. This is the view of Dzogchen. So you end up having this dialectic, which initially feels like a paradox because you're asking someone to hold certainty and you are asking someone to be okay with the pure indefinite unboundedness of the view. But as you can see, we are able to bring this into a circular harmony by looking at it from the perspective of this aphorism. And so with that, I would like to bring this sharing and my expression of trying to crystallize the understanding which may be of benefit to you. And I hope you can play with this and enjoy whatever happens on the cushion or in your life. I do think it's very generative, and I'm only beginning to unfold the multi-layered nature of its impact on my metaphysics and my experience of the world. So with that, I wish you the best. May you be well.